I think that I had written a bunch of stuff that was present day, and also, you know, All Hallows was, I don't know, the world was weird, and I always have had a nostalgic streak. And I'd had this idea in the back of my mind about creepy kids who don't belong trick or treating in a neighborhood, like where the other kids are like, these kids aren't from here. Like, what are they doing here? And so I'd had that idea, but I really wanted it to feel like my Halloween. Like when I have the idealized Halloween in my brain, it's the Halloweens that I had as a kid. So in Halloween 1984, I was actually 17, but so my memories of that are probably, I'm probably thinking more like 1980. I don't know why I chose 1984, um, but I just felt like, I don't know. I just felt like I wanted to taste that, and I wanted to share my love of Halloween and what it felt like for me. So that was sort of the beginning of it. And I also always loved these sort of interwoven um, neighborhood stories. So I wanted to do something that was also sort of like a neighborhood drama. And I saw one review that said it's sort of like if the ice storm had been a Halloween story or a horror story, and that is exactly what I was going for. This idea of like the secrets behind people's lives and what's really going on in your neighborhood. Um, and so I sort of combined all of those things, and All Hallows for me was it was a blast, because then it just gets crazy and twisted and really scary. It's interesting to me because I think just like in real life, what creates fear on the page, and again, I don't usually set out to scare because I think it's very hard to do. It's very hard to predict what's going to create a fear response in somebody when they're just reading a book. It's literally words on a page. So I personally am almost never unsettled by something that I'm reading on a page. It doesn't communicate for me. I recognize it, but to get that chill is not something that generally happens to me. It's very rare. Recently, Josh Mallerman's novel Incidents Around the House was actually unsettling. And before that, you have to go back like 10 years or more for Ramsey Campbell's novel, The Grin of the Dark. So it's very hard to do to me. Um, so I don't, but what I do try to do is I want to try to unsettle you, because I think that when people say the book scared them, so often um, that's what they really mean. Charles DeLint wrote about my novel, The Ferryman, one time, uh, a wonderful piece about how it makes you feel like the ground is kind of spongy underfoot, like it's unreliable. And that's what I want, right? So, All Hallows, and I think if I'm giving advice to writers who want to try to create this feeling, it's about the circumstances being unpredictable and unreliable. What is that really? So by the time you reveal that this thing is terrifying, you're saying it's terrifying to the character, right? But you've set up the unsettledness of the situation and the moment, so that when you confirm that for the reader, that's when they recognize it. But that only works if you've made them feel uneasy already, like that they've made you feel that something horrible is happening. And also you have to make them care. You have to make the reader care about the character, because if they don't care about the character, then they're not going to be uneasy, right? The Nightbirds is my newest novel, and I'm it's also, in a weird way, horror is in such a great place right now. It's such a it's, as I said to you earlier, it's having its moment, right? And I feel like The Nightbirds is a bit crazy, and it's the kind of thing that would have been harder to do to get across home plate if horror wasn't so fertile right now. So The Nightbirds is about this couple who broke up like almost 2 years ago, and they have a history, and you don't really know what caused that breakup initially, but you know it was not great. And in the middle of a tropical storm, um, Charlie Book is he's working for the Texas Wildlife Department, and he's a biological researcher. And right off the coast of Galveston, Texas, there's a half-sunken, rusted-out, 100-year-old freighter, uh, through the hull of which a mangrove forest has grown. And this is actually based on a real thing that happened in Australia, and it's still there. So the boat is real. It's just moved to Texas, and and so he's living on this boat and studying this mangrove forest and the sort of um, you know growth of it. And basically, he runs into his ex. She comes to see him with another woman and a baby in the middle of this tropical storm, as he's about to go out to the boat, and says essentially, "Can you hide us for a couple of days?" And he says yes, even though he doesn't know what's after them. And what's after them is a group of, well, they're not technically witches, but you can call them that. Um, um, Creatures who want the baby. And I think that I'm excited for people to read it, and to get into some of the visuals, but also to um, again, like I want people to feel it. It's that's so important for me when I'm writing. I want to try to create something that has real momentum, that has that doesn't waste your time. I'm trying not to waste pages. I want to tell you the story, but I also want people to be engaged with the characters, and so that when they're in jeopardy, you feel it. And I'm excited about it. I'm also super excited about this book because I found out yesterday it's got 3 stars. All three of the major trade publications, Publishers Weekly, Library Journal, and Booklist, have all given it starred reviews. And that's only happened to me once before, which was on Road to Bones. So I'm really happy.